Welcome back, everybody, to your Zone of Potential Quick Zaps. I'm your host, Coach Corinne. Last week, we talked about accountability, how you're holding yourself accountable, and how you're dealing with holding those you're responsible for accountable. So this week, we're going to talk about goals. We've talked about goals in each one of the videos to some degree, very slightly and very small. But this one is about goals. Do you sometimes feel as if you don't know what direction to go next? You're kind of lost in the sway or the breeze? Are you struggling with where you should focus your attention in aspects of your life, in your job, in your relationships, in your finances, in your fitness? Do you feel as if you're wasting time and not feeling productive? So you finish this lofty goal here and then you just fell off. You don't have another goal now, and now you're just sitting back and it's been a while and you feel as if you're unproductive and you're bored and you're becoming a little apathetic to things that are around you. Well, identifying goals and setting goals will help you get through some of those challenges. Before we go into goal setting, a quick note that this will also be available not only on YouTube but through my website zoneofpotential.com, and that you'll be able to get all my videos there. Also, if you have any topics that you would like me to create in terms of the newsletter or videos, by all means, send me something and I'll create something for you. I've had a couple, so this is one of the reasons why we're doing goals this week. So please, by all means, send it to me and I'll craft something up. Or if you have something else, something you've already created, contact me and we'll talk about how we get that stuff out there for everybody and share our information. So let's go into goal setting. Why should you set goals? What's the purpose? Do you set goals for yourself, or do you just kind of go where life guides you? I've done that. I had done that for quite some time at work and just kind of went with the opportunities. But how did I know they were opportunities? Because basically I knew what I wanted. Setting goals helps guide areas in certain areas within your work, within your education, your health, your fitness, your finances, your family, quite frankly, your attitude. You name it, the sky is the limit. Setting goals will help you. Once you set your goal or of something you truly desire, it can be a very positive experience. It can drive your motivation. It can help organize your time. It can help you focus on what you want to learn in terms of reading and knowledge development. Now, can you imagine always being told what to do, what direction to go in your life, who you're going to marry? Cultures do that. I can't imagine that for me. I can't imagine not getting what I really want out of life. Do you have activities that you've always wanted to do and you just haven't done them? Do you have a bucket list? My bucket list keeps growing and growing and growing. And I know some folks who have some great bucket lists, and I steal a couple of items from them too. But without goals, those are called dreams. Dreams are wonderful, aren't they? But they don't come true unless you do something to help them come true. Same thing with luck. Luck doesn't just happen. You had to be somewhere. You had to have purchased something. You had to experience something for luck to come true, for you to be lucky. So what's stopping you from realizing your purest potential or having fun and adventure in things that you've always wanted to do? So in terms of goals, okay, so I should write my goals down. How do I do that? What does that look like? Well, there's 3 steps that I like to actually throw out there. The first one is the big goal, the big lofty vision. This is really what I like in terms of my legacy. And so I did this for me, is when I pass on, this is how I want people to remember me. And that's my big visionary goal. And that is, I want to inspire other people to do things they never thought they could. And I want to serve people powerfully in order to get them there. Say it out loud. I said it out loud to you because that's what I really want to do. And then once I stood there, this was in 2007 I did this. I look back. I've already done that a few times. And I'm on the path of doing that again. Through coaching, is helping people where they need to go and do things they never thought they could. You know, a gentleman who, shout out to a gentleman who at 50 had never run a marathon. He did his first one then and beat me, dadgummit. So as you look from your future to the current, you're going to experience a plan to unfold, and that will help you set smaller goals in order to reach your loftier goals. And then the third thing is get to work. Set a huge goal, set smaller goals, and then get to work. And what do you need to create those goals? Get smart. Specific, acronym, specific, measurable, achievable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. You can use that, but there's so much more to SMART than just that. So in the specific, there's something that's simply stated. Make it simple. So an example that I have is I wanted to run the Marine Corps Marathon in 1999, and it went in October in 1999. Stated simply. It's so simple. And then stated positively. It's positively stated because I was going to stop doing something else so I could get there. Bodybuilding was wonderful, but it wasn't serving me and my family and my work like I needed to. And I knew that running a marathon would help me in those areas of my life. So it was stated positively. I want to run a marathon. This will help me get where I need to be. And then it was significant. S is not only specific, simply stated, it's stated positively, and it's significant. 26.1 miles is significant. Well, at least it was to me. So what is it to you? And then in terms of M for SMART is measurable. You also need to make it meaningful. What does it mean to you? I have a lot of values, right, that went around my marathon. I value my family. When I was doing bodybuilding, way too much time away from my family. I valued my work in the Marine Corps at the time. Doing the bodybuilding stuff, yeah, it was fantastic in terms of strength and endurance, so on and so forth. But, you know, I had to go through these phases of getting large and getting small, you know, and it didn't really necessarily offer me as much as a marathon would. I found that I didn't run very often. This helped me hold myself accountable. There's that accountability thing to achieving my fitness goals for the Marine Corps. And then I was able to help other people by helping them craft up their fitness goals. So it was measurable and meaningful for me. And then achievable and attainable, that's the A part. You also need to act as if it's now. So I actually took that marathon. I am a marathon runner. I am. What are you? I am. And oh, by the way, that marathon, I treated it like it wasn't my first marathon. I treated it like I'm doing another marathon. I did the research, so on and so forth, but I acted as if I had it now. And then I made it actionable. So I knew every week what I needed to accomplish for that week in order to get to the marathon in October. And oh, by the way, it was like 6 months time frame. And then the R part of SMART is realistic. It's also responsible and rewarding. So what about the goal is responsible? So my marathon was responsible not only to me, but I also impacted my family positively. I also impacted my work positively. I also didn't do things that would hurt the environment. So it's a responsible goal for me and rewarding. That's the other R of SMART is realistic, responsible, and rewarding. So running the marathon was definitely rewarding, but every training aspect leading up to that was rewarding. I couldn't believe when I ran my first 2-hour run. Absolutely amazing. And that leads us to time bound. So time bound is the T part of SMART. You should also include towards what you want. I wasn't moving away from bodybuilding. I knew I wouldn't have the time to do that, but I also knew that I needed to focus on something that was going to be more productive for me. So when I went towards the marathon running, the bodybuilding naturally fell off because I didn't have the time. So I focused on what I wanted and I didn't look back. And then T is also for tracks. I was able to track what I was doing throughout the event, so that if I was losing track of my times, so I would go for time periods, not racing. So I wouldn't actually try to beat my times. I would go for durations. So I would go for like an hour or 2 hours. Every week I had to have a certain type of time frame for pounding the pavement, right? So it was towards what I wanted, and how funny that is because I'm running towards what I want. And then I also can track what I'm doing. So I can make adjustments along the way because it wasn't necessarily about the end state. The end state was perfect. Absolutely. It was about the journey of getting there and the fun of being flexible and being able to adjust and getting there. So what goals are you grappling with that are important to you? And why are you making goals if they're not important to you anyway? Are you struggling to decide, whether your goal is worth your time? Maybe that's why you're grappling with your goals. Maybe you don't think it's worth your time. Maybe you think it's too lofty or unattainable. There are people running marathons who are paraplegics, missing limbs. They're out there doing it. Not telling you to run a marathon, I'm just saying that that's something, that's substantial. And then what's making you not set goals? Can you not see yourself succeeding in that goal? Maybe that's why you're grappling with it. Maybe you just can't see yourself. Let's say you're wanting to be 185 pounds and you're 250. Maybe you can't see yourself at 185 pounds. If you can't see yourself there, how do you expect to get there? If you couldn't see yourself finishing the marathon, how do you expect to get there? And then are you moving towards your goal or are you moving away from something else? Are you moving away from 250 by losing, I'm not going to do the public math here, right? Whatever it is to get to 185? No, your goal is to be 185. So move towards what you want. And if you are on your track for the goal and you've got it set, to make it more meaningful, what will that do for not only you, but how will it help others? What's the positive attributes that it'll affect for others? And then how are you making decisions to live your best life, doing the things you want to do? If you haven't set and started acting on goals to support it, in your work, in your relationships, in your finances, in your fitness, in your health. If you're finding that you're struggling to focus on your goals, you have some, there are things that you want, give me a shout. We can take a look at what's important to you, develop some lofty goals. We can break those goals down into smaller goals and put your plan into action. And don't worry, we've all set goals, even if you don't know it. You've set goals to go to the grocery store or to go to another box store, to a hardware store. You've thought about how you're going to get there, what's the best route. You've got your list, even if it's in your head, of the things you're going to get, whether you get more or less, I don't know. But You have made a goal right there. It's not that hard. And you've even said what time you're going to do it and where you're going to go. And if you're afraid of failure, look at your goal as not where you really want to go, but more so where you're coming from. Because that end state may end up being something different. That end state may just be the beginning of something bigger and more beautiful than you didn't think of before. So where are you now? Where is it in that goal? What do you want to achieve? And then what does it take to get there? Thanks for joining me this week. Once again, if you have any topics that you would like for me to cover, send them to me at corinne.schultz@zonopotential.com or slip me an email and we'll talk about what we can do moving forward. Until next week, have a great weekend and I'll catch you next Friday.